everybody. Welcome to the next episode of Wine Writers Wrap Up. It's been a while since we've gotten together, and I needed to see some familiar faces and enjoy some smiles with them. So today we are here, and we are going to be talking. Oh, I don't know what that is. Oh, we are talking about wine trends post pandemic. And I know it's a bit early since we are still in the pandemic, but I guess we're trying to think about going, outside and getting past the major stuff. So I have five friends with me today, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves first. So, Susanna, you're up first.
Hi, I'm Susanna Gold. It's really nice to see old friends and new friends. And I have a marketing education company called Vigneto Communications.
Awesome. And my buddy Nick.
Hey everybody, I'm Nick Berube, also known as Wine Com Guy. I work in the wine industry doing marketing, and I'm also a diploma student with the WSET.
And Michael.
I'm Michael Kelly. I write for California Wines and Wineries. I'm a blogger and putting on the third Cab Franc celebration that goes international this April.
Awesome.
Very
And
excited.
Amber.
Oh wait, Alan Tully's first, isn't he?
Oh, he's next to you
Okay.
on my screen.
So hi, I'm Amber Burke, and I write Wine Travel Eats, and I do a little bit of marketing and a little bit of PR and a little bit of a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm just happy to be here and joining in the conversation this evening.
Hey, and Anatoly.
Hello, I'm Anatol Levin. I write Tocadina wine blog, and I like all the things wine. And I'm always happy to talk about it. So.
I write a blog and whatever, I like drinking.
That's right.
And I am your host, Lori. My husband and I own Dracaena Wines in Paso Robles. We are getting ready to harvest our 2021 Cabernet Franc. So it is very, very busy time right now on top of getting ready to release our club. So I'm just happy to, I'm in front of a computer, but it's for a different reason now. So it is great to be here. So, we are going to talk about wine trends post pandemic with hopes that we are actually post pandemic in the near future. And this is from an article in Bloomberg News by writer Ellen McCoy. So, this is their article. I honestly don't know if that is a male or a female because I don't know what Ellen is. Or Elin, I don't know.
Elin.
Do you know that person?
I know Elin. Yes, I know Elin very well. She's a long established wine writer.
Okay, so she. All right. We will go with that. So this is an article that she wrote, and this is predictions that she has said are going to be popular. So I just thought it was kind of interesting. So the first one is pink Prosecco is the new thing. And this is what she has to say. I'm betting that the big pink drink will be Prosecco Rosé, and that it is now an approved category launched in Italy, which, Susanna, I'm guessing you can have something to say about.
Sure.
And she says it is going to be the next big thing. So I'm going to start
So
off with you, Susanna.
great. So I'm an Italian wine specialist, which is why Lori is asking me this question. And I did used to work with the Prosecco Consortium. So Prosecco Rosé was launched earlier this year. It's a new category that they can have, but Pinot Noir has been grown for many, many, many years in the Prosecco area. So it's not that they newly planted Pinot Noir. I agree with Elin that it's going to be a big category. I hope you guys have all tried the Prosecco Rosé because it kind of works with both of two really big trends, right? Sparkling wine and rosé, and they're delicious. I actually really enjoy the Prosecco rosés that I've had. It's actually called Prosecco DOC rosé. So that makes a real difference to producers where you put the word rosé. So just to be clear that it's Prosecco DOC rosé after the DOC.
So,
Have you
Susanna,
guys
are
tried
they?
them? Hmm.
I have not, but are they mixing the still Pinot Noir in with the Glera? Like once it's
Yes,
Prosecco, they're making.
yes,
Okay.
I believe they are. I believe that I believe, but I'm not 100% on this. I think it's 85% has to be Pinot Noir and it can be 15% Glera, but it might be 90%, it might be 95. I think it's 85, but don't quote me on that, even though this is a podcast, so I'm being
I
quoted.
I
But
think
um,
I think you're right though, Suzanne. I think that's
I
what
think
I
it's
had heard.
85.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's 85. And it's kind of has been something that's been going on for many, many years, but it was finally official this past year. And they've really done well with it. I mean, Prosecco has grown immensely, as we all know. I think they're up to 600 million bottles a year. I mean, just some
Wow.
crazy amount. I worked with them in 2013 and it was 350 million bottles a year. I mean, that's a huge increase.
Wow.
I
So.
think what you said, like it or love it, Prosecco's here to stay, Rosé's here to stay. They're not fads; they are long-term trends. And hey, if that's what people like, that's what people like. Obviously, Michael does not.
And,
But Michael does like
and
sparkling wine, right? Do you like
so
sparkling
No,
wine,
no,
Susanna?
I like Prosecco. I'm a big fan of Prosecco. We had an Italian night here in the compound that I live in, and I served Prosecco. I like Prosecco. I am just not a rosé person, and so to me, it's just a waste of good wine being sparkling wine, making it a rosé.
So,
Eh,
oh, Michael, wait. I'm gonna ask a
I,
question here. so, why are you saying it's a waste of good grapes? So, are you going with the people who do direct press, or Sanier, or it doesn't matter? You just are anti-rosé.
I'm just a real bigot on rosé. That's all I can say. Um, no, it's just as you well know, we all get wine sent to us, and we taste various wines. And just recently, like last week, a very well-known winemaker in Napa sent me some rosé, and we literally all poured it down the drain. And this was from a relatively famous winemaker. It just rosé just doesn't light anybody's fire in California who are real wine drinkers. Now, Amber. Maybe you have a different perspective on that, but the people that like a heavy body Cabernet or Tinto de Terra, Tinto was it like a Graciano or something like that? Something that's a heavy red wine. In California, most people just rosés for the millennials and the next gen coming up, and to indoctrinate them into getting to hopefully get to some good wine. That's how I look at rosés.
uh, them are fighting words.
No, so I said I'm a bigot. I'm a bigot.
That's
Those are
what
fighting
Ev-
words. Yeah.
everybody has
Everyone is
their opinion,
entitled
and
to their
we all
opinion.
have our own palates. We do. I mean, we cross over, and what we're taught in wine school is, how to pick a good wine, but it still doesn't speak to your own palate. And that's perfectly good. People, I mean, some people don't like white wine, or some people don't like red wine. Everybody has their thing. And the thing is that when I talk about getting the rosés going, I mean, I even go into the rosado. I like the deeper, richer wines. And I was going to double down on this whole conversation here and saying my prediction goes one step further. My prediction is red sparkling is going to be the next big thing. It started 2 years ago, really starting. It's gaining, especially around the holiday time for your turkey, for your whatever. I'm seeing more and more producers making it. I'm seeing more and more people purchasing it. Mom here in Napa makes a beautiful, beautiful red sparkling. It's not something I would normally reach for personally, but I really love it with my Thanksgiving turkey. I'm just going to say, I think that that's going to be a new thing that's going to be the darker rosés, the red sparkling, that's going to be trending.
I agree with that.
I hope you're wrong. I really do.
Amber, is that
That
There
is
is
so fun.
nothing more horrible than sparkling red. I'm sorry.
Well,
That's just horrible. I am
I would agree.
rosé. I am absolutely all the way. And Michael, I would for when people say I don't like this and I don't like that, my answer is always the same: the blind tasting. So I would challenge you, whatever Provence, whatever your style is, I will challenge you with California wines. This year I had Castello Amorosa Rosé, Pinot Noir Rosé, which is phenomenal.
beautiful. It's
Absolutely phenomenal wine. Just blows you out of the water. I guarantee in a blind tasting, you will not be able, not that specific, but I'll challenge you. Easy. In a blind tasting, I guarantee you a lot of surprises. I've done a lot of blind tasting dinners, and I've had people just saying, "Are you seriously telling me I hate the wine which I brought?" That is impossible, and that's what happens in a blind tasting. So this is my answer to all of the I don't drink this and I don't drink that. But the sparkling red, that's way too heavy.
sparkling. Hey,
This
listen,
nah,
don't knock it
that's
till you try it. I will.
no.
I will
I had
it.
sparkling Shiraz, and it can be balanced. No,
No,
that's
just say
just
no.
no.
But,
All right.
but,
Let
but
No.
have you.
Anatoly, you're doing exactly the same thing Michael is, right? You're saying no, after
You
only trying a
no no no
couple.
no no. You there is no wait. Michael says there are rosé which I love, and I'm very particular about my rosé and everything. And for that, I'm saying let's do blind tasting. The sparkling red,
Sparkling red.
seriously?
Have you had some of the quality sparkling red of the Lambruscos?
I had
Uh,
Lambruscos. Okay,
well, I mean,
Lambruscos. Okay,
Graniano.
Lambruscos.
I mean, there's
Yeah.
some
Lambrusco can be
great.
Lambruscos can
phenomenal.
be okay. Yeah, Lambruscos can be okay.
So
Yeah.
here we go,
Many.
right here,
Actually, you're right.
and then
Yes.
moving
Lambrusco can be
right
okay.
along,
Okay.
I want to say that Mom every year makes one red sparkling. I had it 5 years ago. Every year I beg for a bottle. They give me it. They manage to find me one every year, and I do love it at Thanksgiving and Christmas. I open that. That's my little fun thing that I like to do. But if we're coming back to rosé in general, I want to just point out that this year Cliff Family is making a rosé of Cab Franc, and I would highly recommend that. And say anybody who wants a lovely, lovely lovely rosé with some body to it, I would highly recommend that beauty. It's just absolutely gorgeous.
They're going to
And
be
you
Saunier. They're
tasted
not going
it.
to do a direct press, right?
I'm sorry.
Is it going to be a direct press or is it a Saunier?
It is a direct press.
Oof,
Wow.
Yep.
that's big
and
bucks right there.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
it's
is.
a big fat.
Holy
And you know what?
crap, that's
Is
big
that
bucks.
they are committed to quality, and I'll tell you what, I was blown away. Normally I'm all about their rosé of Grenache, and this year because they couldn't get Grenache, they made this rosé of Cab Franc, and it is absolutely phenomenal, and I will put my reputation on that
Wow.
bottle.
I mean, that's big bucks right there. Like to do a direct press of Cab Franc is big bucks. That's I mean, in all honesty, that's the one reason why we are not doing a rosé of Cab Franc because we just can't afford to harvest the fruit at the quality we want and then make a rosé out of it. You know,
But to make rosé, do you need the full ripeness?
I don't need the ripeness. I need the wallet.
Yeah.
No, no, no,
It's
no, no, no. Wait.
the cost per
Do you
ton.
do you do the first pass? Do you do like a green harvest or something? Can you?
Well, you're going to harvest it a little bit earlier than you would if I was harvesting
So
my Cab
just
Franc. I
remove
would have
some of the
already.
fruit, no?
It's still cost per tonnage to direct press and throw the rest of that
I
back.
I, I get it, but a lot of some of the California rosé are 40 plus. I think in 40 plus you probably can do it.
Okay, yeah, but I don't. In all honesty, hi, Dracaena Wines, $40 rosé when my award-winning Cab Franc is 45 isn't gonna fly.
Okay, so I'm gonna go on a limb here, and my next thing
Yeah,
on
totally. He's like, yeah.
the same subject,
Um,
and I'm gonna just like move this on the other direction. We are the next trend that we're gonna see is red wines vinified to white.
yeah,
I'm
okay.
telling you that that's gonna be the next trend.
It,
Here in
it's
Spoon
it,
Valley, we're making a beautiful
it's
white Pinot, and I'm seeing more and more people making white Cab Franc, white Merlot, white red, traditionally red grapes in a white wine. So I'm just letting you know that that's going to be another trend. On that,
right. So
Amber,
I'm
you're
not.
about to give Michael an aneurysm.
I know I am.
So
I'm
no, but
sorry, Michael.
I think that's a less lasting trend, though. I mean,
but
yeah,
guys, yeah,
I don't see
I
that.
would. So Amber, I would
Come on, that white
I
Pinot is
would
delicious.
wait,
Come on,
wait, wait.
Michael.
Hold on, hold on. And so yes, I would take that. However, this is part of a bigger trend because the bigger trend is move to direct sales and move to wine clubs, which become really very serious vehicles. So when you have that and you want to diversify your portfolio, yeah, you're gonna throw in 100 cases of white Pinot. Why not?
No,
But if you need to
wait.
get it into the stores, you will be very hard pressed to do this because mass consumer, you're gonna spend tons on education trying to get that into actual mass market. But if you are direct to consumer, and as a lot of wineries are today, yeah, you can do this.
Well, I can tell you right now that the red wines, the traditional red wines that are being vinified to white, are flying off the shelves here in Napa, and in Oregon, and from what I'm hearing, people are getting excited and moving forward with unusual stuff, and I like it. I like the trend. They're being interesting.
So Amber, let me ask you a question. Is it are these wineries that are doing this, are they doing it because they're looking for shelf space and uniqueness and trying to carve out a new piece of the market? Or are they simply, for the love of white wine that's really a red grape? Are they trying? I mean, so my question is that the trend? People are just, so I'm trying to take a step back. Is it really going after taking a red grape and making it a white wine, or is it really bigger than that, and trying to get the consumer's attention for something unique and carve out a market?
I don't think so. I truly believe that people are looking right now. The winemakers are looking to do something different and interesting. Um, Two Shepherds, White So was slap your mama good. I have to say that I'm a big fan of here in Sassoon Valley of the white Pinot Noir, the Eclipse from Tolinas.
That is
And
phenomenal.
that's not just because I represent them. That is because it's freaking good wine. There's a white Cab Franc that's being made right now in Oregon that is, again, slap your mama good. It is just so good because you're getting that white wine with texture to it, and it's kind of a gateway drug. That's how I see it. is that these traditional red wines that are being vinified in a white wine style are so interesting because they bring a unique spin on a traditional grape, and people are looking for something unique.
Okay, I would agree. I'm going to agree with you, Amber. I think it's a little bit of both. I think the people that are making it are actually passionate about making it. And then on the second side of that, they are looking to break into shelf space. I mean, when we look at what's eating into wine, I mean, wine is already, the section is decreasing rapidly. So if you're going to take up new space, whether it's better for you need something that's going to stand out. And let's face it, the world does not need another $30 shard or cap or
Agreed.
$50 cap. It doesn't need it. So it just brings something new to the market. Just has to be done correctly.
I agree. And I think that that's the big thing is people, you've got to find a niche that is yours that you can, you can break through for people to recognize you. And I think that's why you're seeing the white Cab Francs or the white Pinot Noir and things like that. But on that end, Amber, that white Pinot from Tolinas is incredible. It's,
I agree.
I concur.
it is incredible. But yeah.
Michael, you've had it, have you not?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Annalie, have you had the white Pinot from Linus?
I had one white Pinot in Oregon, not necessarily from that
Okay.
producer.
I will send you a bottle, sweetie. How about you, Susanna? Have you had white Pinot?
I have not. I've had white Nebbiolo, but I have not had white Pinot.
Ooh.
I feel like you guys are like, it's the California world. It's so not the world that I live in terms of the wine world. It's very interesting to me.
So I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be in the New York and Italian market because that's
Yeah.
where I live. I'm not with the rest of the group here with the whites and the.
But you know, but you're against all the great Chirasuolo rosatos that are out there. I mean, I think one of the big trends is darker rosé. I mean, all the Chirasuolo rosato, Chiaretto that's darker. I mean, there's so many great rosé wines from Italy or from Spain that are coming out that I feel sad that you're just kind of dissing because you've just decided that there are no really good rosé wines. But
Michael, you're not welcome in New York. Michael, you're not welcome there.
You're not
Sorry.
welcome. You gotta open your palate. Open
Michael,
that mind.
I get it that maybe you're not the Provence style rosé,
Right?
The very light style, but there are so many different rosés. Like the Côte de Rhône has rosé that is full bodied. That is just what the villages are. It's so full bodied and so full of spice and everything. So I get maybe not Provence style, but maybe venture out a little to.
So as Lori knows, and I think Amber knows, I taste between 1,600 and 1,800 wines a year, and I have tasted a lot of rosés. And if you in that cellar, that's the screen behind me, that's only part of the cellar. I think in that entire cellar, there's 2 bottles of rosé. And one of those 2 is going down the drain from what we had last week, and that was promised to be a full body, excellent rosé. And so
I'm going to make it my mission to find a rosé that you like this year.
Okay, then
I'm going to send you a lot of rosé.
I will try any rosé, and the worst thing last summer.
We're on.
Okay, but not this summer. But last summer, I got shipped every kind of rosé in a can from everybody. Yeah, and that just made it even worse.
Those you have to be very careful with, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I've had some stuff in the can which I could not believe someone would produce. Even though I love canned wines, I have nothing against canned wines, but some of the stuff people put there.
It's so much for whatever is out there. There is good stuff and there is plunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I have to say, yeah. I was very against wine in cans. I was kind of really just I had a position
Mm.
about that. I was very negative about
No.
it, and I have revisited that vision.
Right?
No,
You have to
it's
I
wine
revisit
and
realized
can is great. I had my first in 2014. This is the wine and can is
it has
good
well,
its
it's
wine and
great.
can is just good wine and can.
Mhm.
Nothing's wrong with
Right.
it.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I have to disagree with you, Anatoly, but we've had this
Feel free.
conversation privately. You and I have had this conversation. Again, you told me you were drinking. I have only just barely, and again, I get all the samples that y'all get, and I have just barely found a canned wine that I can actually say to people, I love this wine. This is actually worth drinking. And if you're going to spend money on canned wine, this is the canned wine to drink. But before
So
that, I was like, God, please make it stop.
Right. Me too.
Amber, so I can't even say come on over because last time you tried, this was not a very successful trip. So I'll shut up. But but if you somehow will make it over here, I'll take
I
you on
will.
Long Island, and I'll find the wine for you to try both from the bottle and from the can, which is just simple, delicious,
All right.
unpretentious, and everything in between. I'm
You
serious.
know what? And I trust your palate. So if you're telling me honestly, I will be open minded about that. But I did find a canned wine finally that I like, and in fact, we just did a new sample of that tonight, and that is Maker's canned wine,
Oh, okay.
and
I've
I
heard of
have
that.
yet to find a dud in all of those wines. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
And where's it from?
Co-brand.
All different
It
winemakers.
it's a
So
co-brand private label, right?
Right.
Okay.
label, and they get all these great winemakers. Alice Sutro is one of them. There's a whole bunch of rock star winemakers, and they make one or two wines for this brand. And I have been so impressed tonight. We had a Zinfandel. I have no idea. It was all blind, so I have no idea who made it, but it was so gorgeous. Both David and I really loved it. And I think that's another thing that's going to be a trend is higher end canned wine.
Oof.
Yeah.
That is actually a problem.
That face is fantastic.
Yeah. So
Okay, so I have two problems with that. Okay, so problem number one, well, yeah, maybe
Shelf life.
theoretically, maybe it can age. I don't know
Right now.
because if it's really a serious wine, well, but you age wine under screw top, so maybe it can in a can. I have no idea. I have no idea, guys.
No, the liner won't hold up.
Okay, so my second problem is that they put at least half a bottle in those cans, and sometimes it's more. So once I open that can, I'm done. Okay. And for example, I had the sample of Portuguese wines. They were evolving for 5 days. This is how I taste. I just spread it over a few days, and so those Portuguese wines kept getting better and better over 5 days. Okay, what the hell am I going to do with a can? Because in the normal bottle, I can put in a cork and leave it aside. Okay, the can, I open it.
Give
What's
give
next?
Coravin some time. They'll come up with
Coravin.
something,
Yeah,
right? Coravin just came up with the
of course.
sparkling, right? That's coming out now is the sparkling Coravin, right? We've already and we use the screw
Just
cap
don't shake the
Coravin.
bottle.
We use the screw cap Coravin. So
Is there such thing like screw top
Yeah.
oh
Coravin?
yeah, oh yeah, and
I
it
didn't
works
know that.
phenomenally.
How the
So
hell that works?
so the way it works is you have your screw cap wine. The most important thing is that you don't tip the wine or get oxygen into the wine. So you uncap the screw cap and you immediately put on the Coravin screw cap.
Oh,
And then the Coravin screw cap has like this, I don't know how many layers are in there, but there's like a rubber up here and a rubber there, and I don't know how many layers are in between.
but
And
it's
then
self-sealing.
the Coravin goes through the layers, and then now you can pour it like a normal Coravin, but and then you
And
just leave that
then you
screw
have to
cap
keep
on.
it like that.
You keep the Coravin screw cap on. It
Oy
works.
vey.
It works amazing. It's a lifesaver for us. You know.
Okay.
So So see,
Uh,
give it
give me
time.
give me a trend that she came up with that sounds reasonable. Okay.
All right. So the next trend she says is that the wine country to look out for is Portugal.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Really?
Says
I,
the thirst for discovery rolls on, and Portugal is becoming the latest hotspot. Why did sales of this country's wine surge 35.1%? It's simple quality price ratio.
Hmm.
Right, of
Yep.
course. But
So
that's been a trend for God knows
Yeah.
how long. I mean,
That's
come
true.
on, really?
But do you think
I
people.
think for people like us, not like the
There you
general
go.
market.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, general market. Okay, who will go? Who has the nice display? Okay, Suzanne, you don't count. You live in New York,
No,
but
I was going to say
Yeah,
something
I was going to
different
say
though.
it's going to be on the East
no,
Coast,
but
not here.
anyone go to the wine store and show me a nice display of the Portuguese wines.
I think it's about also Portugal is a hot country that everybody wants to visit now. It's
Hmm.
about wine
Yeah,
travel and just travel in general.
sure.
Portugal is just off the charts in terms of people
Portugal is
moving to
amazing.
Portugal, people wanting to go visit Portugal. So I think kind of that whole tourism trend is, yeah, I
Hmm.
have like really good friends who moved to Portugal, just like everybody else has friends who
Portugal is
moved to
amazing.
Portugal.
Portugal
Amazing.
is
And I
amazing.
think everybody, mass consumer, also is discovering that. So I think the wines are also kind of getting a lift from that. And
Which is sad, but okay.
well,
Why is
sad
that
for
sad?
us, but good for Portugal.
Because it's sad.
Right.
It's a personal sad because it
Right.
means that the good wines will become very expensive, and
Oh, yes.
they difficult to find anyway, and because there is not that many of them coming in here. But and also, yeah, if Portugal becomes a fad, then it means that prices will grow there as well. So but
And then
anyway,
it just won't be our little secret anymore.
yeah, exactly.
and I'm going to
I
build,
think.
and I'm going to build on from that. If you guys have been here in Napa, I know Nick is with me with this, is more and more people are making port style wine, those bigger, sweeter wines. And I think that that's becoming more and more of a trend. I'm seeing more people make it here in Napa, in California wineries in general. I'm seeing more and more port style wines. And I think that that is going to also become a
Hmm.
trend.
Actually, port style, meaning actually fortified wines
Fortified.
or just wines of 17%
No,
alcohol?
fortified wines, sherries. People are going to get to know Madeira a little bit better. I think that we're seeing more of a trend where people are understanding things like Sauternes, not your regular wine that everybody reaches for. I think that people are getting a little bit more back to the basics.
Lori, for the next one, for the next writers write up, can you get people who live in like I don't know, Nebraska, Kansas City. I mean, can you
Hey,
get people who will offer different perspective?
I
Because
send
the us on the two coasts, we just come on. What
Wait,
we
let's.
see is not what people
I
see.
am
I
more
mean,
than happy to have people in the Midwest come out. I send out that you guys see how many blind CCs when I send those emails, but it's always the East and West Coasters who join me.
yeah, this.
You know, it's interesting about port style wines and then just Portuguese wines in general because Sandeman actually a few years ago, at least 3 or 4, did a whole push of port cocktails.
Hmm.
So they were pushing that to go into because port was kind of dying as a category, so they wanted to revamp it with the younger generations by getting mixologists involved and coming up with cocktails using their ports.
So Nicholas should just put it in a can and then add seltzer.
Oh, no, stop, no.
No, thank you.
Which is actually her next
That's the
prediction
next
is that
trend.
wine seltzer will be the new hard seltzer. Now, I what is it? I've never even had a
Really?
wine seltzer.
Decoy's already doing it. I think it's decoy.
Did you try that? Come on, Nick. And now
No, I tried
did
one,
you
and
try that?
that was, and one is enough for anybody.
Were you able
As
to
Willy
finish
as
your
Willy
first
Wonka
sip?
once said,
Please,
one is
no.
enough for anybody.
When I saw
I
the
was getting my
decoy,
hair done. My stylist
no,
gave it to me. I was like, okay.
That's so funny.
no. But when I tasted it and I looked at the producer, I was completely flabbergasted. Like,
Yep.
really? That was beyond horrible. No, nobody, please, nobody tried that.
Explain to me the process of wine seltzer.
No idea.
Where is
I
this?
think it's a mix. I think it's actually a mix. I have no idea.
I have no idea.
I mean,
So-
I can Google it, but I have no idea.
Yeah, I think it's basically like a wine base and then adding flavored seltzer water.
It's not sparkling wine. It's not. It's definitely not sparkling.
No.
It's actually a mix.
It's like a base. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like you will pour a glass of red and you will add sparkling water into it.
So isn't
Oh,
that
why?
what everybody makes fun of, like the old moms used to put the.
I think old moms
7
used
Up
to
in
put
there.
ice cube, and there is nothing wrong with the ice cube. That's very different. I mean, depending if it's a hot day, this big Chardonnay is just too much, you know.
But again, I think we're getting into a period of time when people are looking for lower alcohol. They're looking for smaller servings, and so this is offering them something where they can feel, we'll say, classy by drinking wine, while still having something for the pool that they can not get drunk on.
Well, considering the leading market person is barefoot, that quality concept is a little.
That's a good. That's good. Yeah, barefoot, nice.
Hey, I'd take that gallon of money any day.
Me too. Let's be real.
Actually, I had barefoot sparkling, and it was not horrible.
Well,
I had it at I think at one of the wine bloggers conference, and it was not horrible.
But
what about hybrids?
Trinchero.
Don't you think that's a trend? Hybrids? Do you think more people will be drinking hybrids and planting hybrids, of course?
And what do you mean?
I really believe that is going to be a big trend.
Yes.
Mixing unusual combinations of wines and hybrid wines are definitely coming forward. You know, mixtures that you've never heard of. One of my local wineries has a rosé that had like 10 different grapes in it. And it was phenomenal. It was really good.
I thought, Susanna,
right.
You were talking about hybrid grapes.
Grapes. I'm talking about hybrid grapes. Yeah,
right.
I'm talking about hybrid grapes
the
like
vinifera that
right.
To.
I'm talking about the
and
rise
so my
of those.
question is, and it's actually very interesting because there was an article in I think in New York Times very recently.
Yes,
which was
France.
talking about France. Yes, that was very interesting article. Talking about hybrids, American hybrids in France, and France was trying to outlaw them for a very long time, and they failed.
Right.
It's and those wines are the riot there. So.
Well, it's because of climate change, right?
Yeah.
So you know that's why so many people are
Yeah,
planting hybrids.
I think
I think that's a trend.
That's a trend. The German problem. You're not going to be able to pronounce 3/4 of the hybrids. Right?
True.
And that's a big problem with a lot of German, you know, the whole quality tiers and all that stuff. People can't pronounce it. They want to stick to Americans, general population Americans.
Want to stick with what they know. This is how people order wine. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And I think
Michael's holding his head.
Yeah, so
I don't see Michael doing a hybrid.
No, so with all these trends, I'm starting a new website called Stuck in the Mud and Happy.
But I did an article about how they're using hybrids for climate change because they've realized that, you know, even though that we have the same kind of weather patterns here in California that they have in Italy, rather than we're far closer to that climate than we are to France, our UV index is completely different. And so that you need to have the right grape varieties to be there so that they will actually thrive. Other than that, like Sangiovese dies on the vine here in California unless you use the right hybrid grape.
Well, yeah. Again, I think you're going to have to make it well. You're probably going to have to use a fanciful name or name it something easy to
Yes.
pronounce. And then, too, I mean, we had to do it with rootstock because, again, French rootstock. The Vinified rootstock didn't take, so well, it was killed. We killed it, and so basically, yeah, adapt or die.
Right.
Michael will die in the mud.
Darwin rules again.
Yeah. Harry Carey, here I come.
Right, but I mean, this is interesting that people need to. Well, I don't know. I think there are few different trends here. Not trends, I don't know, but directions. Because one direction is that you just don't use the name of the grape on your bottle. This is, or yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like, for example, Turley. Well, it says Petit Syrah. Their library Petit Syrah actually has, I don't remember the exact number. I think it's almost 18 different grapes in it, as a supplement. Because in addition to it's Petit Syrah for the majority. Otherwise, they will not put it on the label. But really, there is 18 others in there. So I don't know. You probably have ways out of it. But yeah, people always ask, "Oh, what is it made out of?"
Right.
Ah,
I agree.
I
I
don't know.
think if they're going to do hybrids, you're going with the fanciful name because people
Yeah,
are
you
going to,
just use
and
names.
it better be a
Well, I
damn
was just
good
thinking
label.
about what people, let's say in New York State, who go to visit the Finger Lakes or visit Long Island or the Hudson Valley. A lot of the grapes that they are getting in these wines are hybrids. They
Right.
may not know that it's a hybrid, but they
On
are hybrids.
really on Long Island?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, on Long Island,
Give me an
certainly in the
example. No, I need an
in the
example.
finger on
I
Long
have
Island.
not seen. Okay, last year obviously did not visit Long Island, but the year before I was there in a few wineries. I didn't see anything with hybrids.
Have you seen Vidal Blanc at all out there?
Vidal Blanc,
Oh, Vidal
Chambourcinet.
Blanc. This is more Hudson Valley. This is not Vidal on Long Island. Really?
I've had Vidal on Long Island. I've had lots of Vidal from the Finger
Okay.
Lakes,
Yeah,
lots and lots.
Vidal.
But Vidal
Okay.
is a hybrid. I mean,
Okay.
it's
Okay.
an
Yeah.
okay
Just
Okay.
hybrid
like
like Vignoles or
Chambourcin.
Traminet or
Yep,
Sambursat.
Traminet.
They don't
All
do
those are
Chambourcin on Long Island. I don't think so. I
No,
don't
more
know.
again
I
Finger
can't name a
Lakes.
producer.
Finger Lakes.
more in the
Hudson
Finger
Valley.
Lakes.
Okay, Finger Lakes, Hudson Valley is different, but Long Island is very up proper. I don't know.
Oh.
I'm sure
I,
Chris Tracy does all of those things. He
I
does
hear it's in
everything.
this seltzer area, New York. The finger, the neck, the two, the upper and the lower neck are both going to be seltzer areas.
I don't know. I'm just saying, you were saying like we can need people from Nebraska. It's not even just people from Nebraska. Just a lot of people are drinking these kind of wines, like, in
I think
Michigan,
there's a
let's
lot of
say.
Michigan. I was going to say Michigan is going
Michigan,
to be
like
good.
the old
Louisiana,
Mission Peninsula,
Michigan.
right?
Yep, Michigan. Yeah.
I don't know how,
Yeah.
is that, yeah.
No, no,
When
no,
I,
no. All I meant is to understand what they see as a trend, because what we see, what Amber reports from Napa is very different from. I would bet it's very different. Yes, they drink. Okay, they drink those, but this is what is locally made. They visit wineries. Those are the wines they buy. So this is not like it's not like someone ripped out Cabernet Sauvignon and planted
Oh
I don't know,
yay!
Chambourcin instead. It's not like it was like that. So it's
well, so as I was preparing for the Cab Franc um, this year for April of 2022, I went through over 1,000 websites of wineries, and I did find a tremendous number of hybrid wines from Michigan, Illinois, New York, Virginia, where
Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. But not so much out here in California, where we don't allow seltzer to come in or rosé bubblies to come in. So
Lordy, what are the other trends? What else is
Well,
there?
I just got a pop up, and Google is something new, and they only do an hour. So I'm a little annoyed at that. Um, but so the last trend I want to talk about before I get booted off of Google is there are champagne robot sommeliers.
yeah,
So there are
that's
robots, uh, Dom Perignon and 2M Group restaurants in London unleashed Bailey and Sage, which ferry bottles and glasses of bubbly to customers. And Hotel Trio in Healdsburg sends out Rosie the robot, which is cracks me up because that's just the Jetsons, to deliver room services. How awesome is that? So, do you want to be served by a robot sommelier?
I
I
read
don't really.
about robot
If you're gonna,
bartenders.
yeah.
They have
There
them
are
in
robot
Naples.
bartenders,
Yeah.
so this is they
But this
can
is
mix
like
it. I
an
mean,
actual robot. Like Rosie goes to your room.
Hey, if she pours me a full glass, I don't care. That's what I'm more worried about. I mean, it's kitschy, so you're going to see it in all the high end restaurants, the high end hotels, in all of the major markets, the Dallases, the Houstons, the LA's, San Francisco's, Chicago's. But is it going to make it to Nebraska? Probably not.
yeah.
one day it will. I mean, I think it's a little too early to call that a trend
Yeah, I agree.
because this
It's something
is,
cool happening.
yeah, this is cool. Yeah,
Gimmick.
this is cool.
But
But
it
yeah,
makes me so happy that we all went to all these wine classes and went to wine school, only that a robot is going to take over our jobs and
Yep.
recommend
Yeah.
wine to people
nah.
considering their palate. That's a
No,
little annoying.
everyone is different, and no robot can figure out your palate. And
Exactly.
wine is about passion. Wine is about emotion. What robot? Come on. This is
Well, I bet
robot
you Rose.
delivering a robot
Hey,
delivering the glass. This is
You
fine,
Rosie,
have
but
you haven't met
Rosie
Rosie. You
has.
haven't met Rosie
I was
yet.
going to say, I don't think
hey,
Rosie's going to be sexually harassed by
stand.
everybody in the
Oh
CMS.
God.
But
I see a little marriage going on here with those two, Rosie and
Oh yeah.
Did George Jetson sexually harass Rosie the robot? I don't
Oh
know.
God. That's gonna be a next article. We're gonna
that's
find
only
out.
that's only if he's a master.
Yeah. No, but by the way, this is all interesting. But I think one of the real trends post pandemic is getting away with just a free, not free, but unplanned winery visits, and just really everything. This is what I see in Oregon. They almost all of them now. You can't just come in
Oh, that's
unless you
that.
have an appointment.
Yeah, that
Unless you have an
happened.
appointment, you
Yep.
cannot come in from the street.
Yeah.
You have to have an appointment, and then you get very different
Service. Yep.
experience. You get
Hmm.
That's not
more of
going
a
anywhere.
personal service,
Yes.
and so on and so on. I've been at the winery where people were just sent away.
Yep.
They just walked in and sorry, you don't have an appointment. Sorry,
Yep.
make one, come another day. So I think this is a big
That is here
post-COVID
to
trend.
stay. Yes.
This is gonna be. I don't know how Napa will live with this, but
So
probably they. I
Pretty
don't
now
much
know.
doing this
everybody's
for years.
yeah,
Yeah.
everybody's pretty much gone. I mean, some people can do walk-ins, but for the most part, it's make the reservation.
Yeah.
Um, I
Same thing
think
at Paso.
another trend that will stay is alcohol to go for
Yes.
Yep.
restaurants
Agreed.
because some people the on-premise died during COVID. It started to come back, but as we start shutting down again, knock on wood, it's going to get better. But alcohol to go was a way to stay alive.
Absolutely.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am very upset to say this, but Google is going to boot me off in 5 minutes. Damn them. So I'm going to give you guys a minute apiece to kind of tell us a little wrap up about yourselves and what trend you wish or hope stays with us. We'll go backwards. Anatoly.
I'm not ready. I don't know
Not
what
ready?
I don't know what trend I want to
Hey.
say.
Well, just tell people how they can find you.
Sure, of course. So it's again, I'm Enito Levin. Blog is named Tocavino, so it's talk. You can just talk a vino either all together or talk-a-vino.com. Very easy to find.
Awesome. Amber?
Hi, so you can reach me at Wine Travel Eats, and I'm on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and pretty much everything. And I would like to, I would like to see more pushing the boat with different types of blends, being more unique with the varieties in the bottles of wine that I'm tasting. That's what I would like to see stay.
Awesome. Michael?
So first, I really don't want any of these trends. Um, I think I'm a throwback, and not because of what I like, but I know, and Susanna going to Italy on 2 3 week excursions that I've done, and going to Barbaresco and having Nebliolos and Nero di Avolas and you name it, Barolos. I like to have wines that have a place in history and a presence, that there is a known entity for a period of time. And when these things, I think these trends that she came across, or I think these are trends. These are just very little blips on the Richter scale. And when we get done with this over time, they're never going to. Nobody's going to remember seltzer and and pink bubbly. And I know that, Susanna, I know that, but there's things that are not. Some of these trends that she enumerated are not going to be ever thought about again. So that's. I threw the gauntlet down. I threw the glove down.
All right, Nick?
So Winecom Guy, WINECOMMGUY on all the social channels. If you're ever coming to Napa, Sonoma, Sassoon, give me a ring and I can give you my favorite destinations. And Michael, when am I going to be asked to judge your Cab Franc competition?
Well, I got my first backup here with Amber, and so. But I will. I can put you into the mix if we get as many as I hope we get this year.
Awesome.
Perfect.
That would be
Hey,
I'm
great.
writing your name down, Nicholas.
And Susanna?
So you can find me at avinare.com or vignetocommunications.com. My hope trend that will continue is everybody being interested in indigenous varieties from various countries, specifically from Italy, and an attention to sustainability. And you can find my podcast about sustainability, the Vigneto podcast. Those are my two trends.
Awesome.
Great.
Well, I want to thank you all for joining me and talking about these sort of kind of trends and whether or not they're going to go. And I love that everybody has such vivid and lively opinions of these trends. And I look forward to seeing you all on the camera again and hopefully in real life soon. So thank you very much for joining. Have a wonderful Tuesday. And I'm drinking water, but I will say it anyway. Slancha.
Yeah, Solancha.
Slancha.
Slancha.
Thank you all.
Cheers, y'all.
This was a lot of fun. Thanks.
Thanks. Bye.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.
That was
Cheers.
good.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Ciao.